go ahead and get started. So, what to kind of expect from the agenda today? We're going to go through some tips for creating engaging content, talking about posting in relevant groups so that you can really get your message out to your target audience. And then, of course, we're going to share some tips from some of our top members who've shown super successful with this. And then we're going to go into some Q&A where you'll get a chance to really ask questions from our expert panel. So, we will go ahead and kick it off. Super excited. First thing we're going to really talk about is tips for creating engaging content. We're going to start by kind of sharing some ideas, and then we'll go into a few actual see it in actions so that you can really get a tangible idea of what that looks like. One of the ways that you can really utilize posts are to use ChatGPT. As you guys know, AI is not tomorrow, it's today. It's happening all around us. We've also seen amazing success with our premium AI coaches on Alignable, where we've got, helpful bots helping you out. And we've got some great groups about AI and ChatGPT where you can really dig in and learn more about this. But the one thing I'll say is, we want you to hold on to your creativity. We want you to stay true to your brand. And you're really sailing the ship, but it's great to have this as an assistant, as a tool to really keep the content fresh and to know how to really reach out to your audience. So you can write out your content goals. You can ask GPT to create industry specific questions, and AI will fill in the gaps to help you create the posts that keep it fresh and keep new content coming in every week. Another great thing to think about when you're posting is creating themes. So, one of the things that we've seen time and time again is when you're posting, the more consistent you can be, you start to build an audience. I'm sure a lot of some of our panelists, we've got, Sam and Liz and Jason, all people that and it's because they're consistently posting and building their audience. So, think about, something as simple as Tech Tuesday, asking what's your favorite business tool? That's going to really help you to become a recognizable name, and it's going to help you build an audience week after week as you're posting this content in different groups. Another thing you want to think about is asking questions. Today, you're going to hear a lot about adding value in order to really gain engagement and traction. And so, what we've seen fall flat is when you post a really long discussion, or, maybe it's very heavy on, informational posts, and you see a lot of views, but you see no one is actually commenting, no one is actually engaging, and that can be frustrating. But what we found is if you keep it open ended and you ask a question at the end, that's your call to action to get people to respond and to actually start engaging with that post. So, asking questions can range from asking for assistance on a project. Maybe you're looking for some collaboration. It can be casual inquiries, but you really want to make sure that you're leading to an active and lively community response. So, the more you can open that up with a question for people, the more you're going to see engagement happening on those posts consistently. And responding to replies, we've seen events all over Alignable about the fortune being in the follow up. It's so important that if you're taking the time out to create these posts, to get these posts out to your audience and to other members, make sure that you're responding to the replies. Once that engagement starts coming in, the more you can keep that thread active, the more people are going to catch on. More often than not, we see that you can put a post out there and it's hard because people don't want to be the first to comment. But once you get that first comment, make sure that you're checking your notifications in Alignable. You're going in, you're responding to that comment, liking or thanking them, and keeping that discussion really fresh. That's going to keep it top of mind for everyone in that group that you're posting in. So now that you've kind of heard a couple tips, I want to give you some breakdowns to be able to see it in action. So, what does that really look like? So we have a really great article, and Randy's going to be sharing that link at the end about content creation that goes deeper into some of these. But I'm going to kind of give you a highlight of kind of what to do, what not to do, and why it works. So when you're doing posts and you're sharing expertise, instead of just putting a post that says, "Do you need marketing services?" and dropping your contact information, try instead to say, what are some marketing strategies that have worked for you in the past? Here are my top 5. What you're doing there is you're asking that open-ended question. You're getting people to see that you are a subject matter expert, and that helps to build that know, like, and trust. They're going to see that you're someone that can share and add value, and they're in turn going to want to look at that post and then look at your profile. So as you can kind of see in that helpful corner, why it works is it's going to naturally bring more attention to you and your business if you are adding value and asking others to share as well. Now, if you're doing a post and you want to celebrate maybe a milestone in your business, think more about, again, adding value and celebrating everyone's success. So instead of a post that says, great news from my business or our business, we just found out, try our business just hit some record numbers. Has anyone else had any successes they'd like to share? One of the number one things I found in doing posts is people like to talk about themselves. People like to share their milestones. So the more that you can give people a platform, the more you're going to see a thread of successes. One, it's going to bring a lot of value to the conversation, but it's also going to give you all light on who you have in your corner, who's in your community that's thriving, and how can you leverage them for your own success, as well as sharing your successes. The more that you get a bunch of people together to share these successes, the more you're going to see a lot of your network growing and great connections happening. And engaging with other alignable members. Super important to bring people in and to keep it open ended. So instead of a post that says, check out my website and let me know if you need my services, again, try something like, I just finished designing my website. Here are some things that I learned along the way. Has anyone else built a website from scratch? Again, you're putting the ball in their court and you're really giving a post that allows people to follow up. There's a call to action there where people are going to want to share. And introducing yourself to add value. Again, I said you're going to hear that word value a lot because one of the key things is the more you add value, the more people want to come to you for support, for referral partners, and those posts are going to start to skyrocket. So you can see here, instead of just kind of introducing yourself and your website, talk about, you're considering implementing a new CRM, asking if anyone is satisfied with theirs, letting them know you'd love to connect on Alignable to discuss it further. This not only helps you to maybe fill some gaps in your business, but maybe you're someone who can fill the gap in someone else's business. We're not always just, going to find the direct leads or clients, but the amount of first and second degree referral partners that you can find through these posts are really what makes your network and your net worth skyrocket. So now that you've kind of heard some tips, we've kind of talked about what those tangible posts could look like. It's really important that you're posting in relevant groups so that you can find your audience. So, some of the tips that we're going to share is first how to find the right group. So, you can see at the top here, when you go to groups at the top of your homepage, there's a sub navigation that pops up, and you can see where it says Discover Groups. When you click on that, you'll be able to see your local alliance group, which is a great way where you can connect and support your local community. And then you'll have a whole drop down of different groups that you can search. So once you edit your interests, you'll see for me, I like marketing, SMS marketing, and work life balance. And now I have all of these great groups that are active and thriving that I can share my post in because now I know my target audience is in these groups. So it's really important that you find the right group and the content that you're sharing is relevant to that audience. Now, once you've found the group, start a discussion. You'll see right at the top here, again, in that My Group section on the left, you'll be able to see all the groups that you're a part of. And you'll be able to see that you can start a discussion right in the middle there. When you do that, it's going to do a drop down of all of your groups so that you know whatever you have to share, you're putting it in the right group with the right audience. And that's going to help that content land even better. Now, one of the big things that we hear a lot is I have a business. I'm on this platform because I want to promote my business. And oftentimes you can feel discouraged. Maybe my post got hidden and all I was doing was sharing about my business. Well, we want to make sure that you understand there is a place on Alignable to do that. So when you are in these groups and you're sharing these discussions, keep it focused on adding value, thought leadership, and open ended questions that bring in collaboration. But when you're ready to share about a great product or service or promotion you're running, we want you to be able to have a platform to do that as well. So as you can see here, when you're on your home tab, there's that start a discussion button. And underneath that, you've got a few options. So when you click more, there's actually a promotion tab that drops down. And you can see on the screen there, it pops up a modal. You can put in an image, you can put in your promotion title, the product or service that you're offering, add in as many details are relevant for you. And then at the bottom, it's going to default and share with everyone you're connected with in your network. And you also have the option to click on your local community. Now, the great thing, and you'll hear more about kind of this offer throughout, if you are a premium member, you get 5 additional communities, which really helps to expand the reach of those posts. And if you're premium plus, then you've got, this great nationwide access where you can really get more eyes on these posts. So this is where you can go share about those promotions, share about your services, and you'll actually get a really great chance to promote your business in the right way where people can take advantage of it. So you join the group, you know kind of what you want to post. What do we do next? So, want to kind of give you some guidelines for posting. We are going to share a link that gives you the full guidelines, both for the Alignable community as a whole and the Alignable groups. But what's really important is knowing kind of some of the do's and don'ts, because we do have really great active leaders and moderators who are making sure that their space in their group is a safe and inviting space that stays on topic and on brand. And we want to make sure that the posts that you're spending time crafting get seen. So, some of the do's: we want you to write in your genuine professional voice. We want you to write original and relevant content for the group that you're posting in. We want you to observe the group's rules and procedures. So, before you even join a new group, you'll be able to see on that group that there is a list of kind of rules and an About Us section that gives you a really good idea of what the expectations are of posting in that group. And you will have the most success if you're kind of observing those rules and procedures and then aligning with that when you post. We want you to take a business networking approach to content sharing. This is not social media, this is a networking platform. So we want to make sure that you're thinking about it as if you were right in person at a networking event. How would you be interacting with those people? And that's what those posts should look like. We want you to let the community help introduce you to referral partners and ideal clients. This is where that value piece is so huge. The more value you're adding, you're going to see that consistency of people referring and recommending you because they see that you're adding value to their community space. We want you to support others by leaving a constructive comment on their post or liking their post. The more that you can interact, the more engagement you'll see back on your posts. And of course, again, we want to keep it a safe space to be able to thrive. So report the content, members, or businesses that violate any of these policies that you see. We want to make sure that you feel that you're in a great space to be able to share the content and you can see others' great content as well. Now, on the flip side, you hear a lot about kind of the do's, but you don't hear a lot about the don'ts. And sometimes you may have put a lot of effort into a post and you don't know why either it got hidden or maybe it's just not getting much traction. So, we worked with the team a little to put together just some guidelines for what not to post so that you can make sure that you get maximum visibility. So don't post your contact information. As you connect with people, you'll be able to share that information in direct messages. They'll be able to go to your business profile, but this is not something that you want to put out into a post for everyone to see. Don't post content over 1,000 characters. Now, we don't expect you to sit there and try to count the character limit. It's not that crazy. But what we do want to make sure is that the things that you're posting are easy to digest. So, this is just a guideline. If you have a really long post with a lot of links, you might see that people are getting views on it, but they're not commenting or engaging because as they're scrolling through all of this content, it's just too much to digest and they don't know how to take action on it. So, make sure you keep it kind of short, to the point, keep it open ended. Don't copy and paste from other social media platforms. Again, we want it to be something that's unique and on brand with you and your business. Don't post sensitive, detrimental, or offensive content. Don't post non alignable links that are intended to lead members off of Alignable for sales purposes. Now, this is a big one. We want to make sure that you are able to share great articles, blogs, resources that have been helpful to you and your business. But it's important that you share a little bit of content about the links that you're sharing, because we want to make sure people feel safe clicking on those links. So just make sure that anything that you are sharing, you give that context and it's something that is going to add value to these members. And finally, don't post advertisement or solicitations into the group feed. Again, you want to utilize that promotions tab to get the most out of that. So if we can kind of summarize this first section, we want you to be able to optimize your posts. So keep your posts focused based on the group type and who that audience is. Don't copy and paste the same post into multiple groups. Oftentimes, that's the first thing that will get your post hidden because it's going to be looked at as spam. You want to make sure that each post is unique to the group and that audience. We want you to add value. Don't pitch slap. That's something a lot of us joke around about here, but it's a super important one. There's a time and place to share about your business, but everyone doesn't need your 30-second elevator pitch. They really want to get to know you and feel confident that you're someone they want to connect with and bring into their network. And of course, follow up. Follow up on those discussions, follow up by sending connection requests and doing one-to-ones. There's nothing more important than being able to share this content and then follow up with a one-on-one and really start to build a great profitable network. So, with that, I want to kind of turn it over to the people you really want to hear from. People just like you who have been posting, who've been consistent, and who are seeing some really good results. So, first up, I'm going to introduce my good friend Jason Integrity. He is a group leader, an ambassador, and just a power network on this platform. He shared with me kind of some of the top 3 posts that he's seen great engagement with, some posts that haven't landed as well. And Jason, I'd like to just give you the floor for a couple minutes to kind of share what these top 3 mean, what these bottom 3 mean, and any value you have to add to our members today.
All right, all right. First off, that was phenomenal, Brittany. Outstanding. That's all good information. When we talk about the top 3 types of posts, you want to be consistent in what you're talking about, right? So, Hero Help and Hub content is always good to stick to that format, and this keeps your content fresh. It keeps you from saying the same thing over and over again, and you're posting with intent as opposed to just randomly throwing stuff out there. You know, keep in mind that you are the only you, so authenticity is important. So regardless of the industry that you're in, you kind of want to refrain from sounding like everybody else. So make sure that the content resonates with you first, and then it'll resonate with your tribe. Um, so when we talk about things that are overly informative and I need to educate the consumer, don't. These are very smart people. If they want the information, then they'll go find it. And you want to be the resource that they come to, of course. If it's trendy, if everybody's doing it, then probably don't want to do it. And lastly, kind of stay away from current events. Whatever's going on in the news, and it's going on in the news, leave it over there, and don't bring it into your business. So all of that is a way for you to start building relationships, and you want to put your content out in a way that allows people to come in. You want to be attractive, and take advantage of that 30 days free for premium. The analytics alone are crazy. So when we talk about building your brand, reach and frequency is very important. And if you're paying attention, please type reach and frequency in the chat. And remember that as a takeaway from this, reach and frequency. You want to reach as many people as you can, and you want to stay in front of them all the time. So when you're putting out your content, keep all of these things in mind, and good things happen.
I love it. Thanks, Jason. Always good words of wisdom. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Liz. Liz is a phenomenal group leader in one of our industry groups, and she is just a gem of a human. And again, she shared some things that have really been working for her and things that she found hasn't worked for her. So, Liz, why don't you share?
Thank you, Brittany. So far, this has been awesome, and I've learned some stuff, which is, I think, the point. The cool thing about my group, I am in the alternative and holistic medicine group, and I've tried a little bit of everything, but the posts that I do is really coming from servant leadership. And basically what that is I try to empower the group with information and things that they can add to their toolbox. So for the most part, the members in my group are healers of various varieties. So I will post like tips and techniques. I had a tips and technique Tuesday. I show them how to do acupressure points and things like that. And now I'm trying different things. So we've had a workshop on sound healing where I invited different healers that use different modalities and healing. I've also just finished up a series of meditations where different group members could do their own meditation. And I think the value for them is they were all in different phases of development. So that gave them an opportunity to practice in front of a group, most certainly, but also really start to form who they are as practitioners. So that I think is a part, really supports a part of Alignable as far as developing their own their own network of people. So I'm always looking for things along those lines. I also try to avoid being too long-winded. I think first and foremost, I'm a writer, so I really get into the writing part. So some of it is a bit self-reflective, but it's really just to enjoy, to introduce a subject and then move on. Being that I have been a group leader now for the last year, and then I was a moderator before that. I've really seen a huge bump in getting out in front of people. So when I first started with the premium, I had right around, I think, 200 members that had kind of taken a look at my posts and things like that on my business page. And I just looked today, and I've got I had something like 68,000 members in the since October look at my profile and stuff like that. So I agree with Jason as far as the analytics. It's what are they looking at? So I can get an idea of what's successful and what is not. And am I conveying a message that I want to, and also encourage my group members to do the same. So the things that seem to be the least beneficial for everyone is go to my page or go to my website or buy my product. And it, for me, it's overwhelming because all of a sudden I've got a little over 38,000 members in my group. So if everybody did that, I don't think any of us would go to the page any longer. So just keeping it informative and fun. What do you do and how do you do it? And it's like, wow, take notes, and also the contacts that I have made and referral partners, and now the collaborations I am doing have been a direct result of my group.
That's amazing. Thanks, Liz, for
Yeah.
sharing. And, like I said, Liz started out just being a normal member in that group. And because she was consistent and she kind of built that following, she was asked to kind of lead that group. So we'll also share some links at the end of this if you're looking to be, a thought leader and to really build on your network. There's some great opportunities to lead local groups and alliances that even amplify that reach more. So thanks for sharing, Liz.
Thank you.
And let's turn it over to Sam. Sam is a group leader and ambassador. She is a fantastic coach to everyone. So would love you to share, Sam, what have been some things that have been effective for you and what seems to fall flat?
Thanks, Brittany. I'm a big believer in look who's successful. So when I joined Alignable a year and a half ago, I'm going to say I followed Jason. I literally went, okay, this guy's successful. He seems to be knowing what he's posting. So I followed Jason's lead and I post content in that vein. And in all honesty, I am not the most regular person. Like I just seem to go up and down. However, because I'm a group leader, I am very dedicated to my group. Like that's where I hang out. You might not find, if people were going, what do you mean she posts? I just went to her profile. She hasn't posted on her profile. And that's true because I spend so much of my time in my coaching group because that's where my people hang out. So what Jason was talking about, hang out where your people hang out, and the posts that get the most traction for me are because I care what my members want. Honestly, I follow what my members want. Everybody wants to know what's in it for me. They don't want to know about me. Nobody wants to know what. And Brittany, when you're saying what didn't work, I did post a happy holidays post at Christmas time, and I was like, oh, what are your traditions? And I thought, oh, this will be the one time where I'll get a bit more personal. I think I got 1 or 2 comments on it. Again, stay to your content. And when I post content that really resonates with coaches, and for me, Brittany, the top 2 really are the polls. When I ask about what type of coach you are and interact, that's the magic for me, is interacting with people. So if I forget to post or I don't post, but I'm with you, Brittany, I pay attention to the notifications. So as soon as somebody comments in my group, I do my utmost to be in there and interacting with people. And that seems to be what works when you are really engaging with your group. So that's what works for me, and keeping it to what the group wants. So not too much non-related business stuff in my group. It's all how can we build and support each other in there. So that's what works for me. And thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you guys. That was awesome. And, I know each of you have sort of touched on it a little bit, but if you could kind of give me just that one thing of, how premium has helped optimize your posts. Jason, you kind of talked about it first. So do you want to just reiterate what it is for you that premium's doing?
So premium is fantastic. I highly recommend that you get it. More importantly, it gives you most importantly, it gives you the opportunity to extend your reach. So as opposed to a post just going out to the people that you're connected with in your local area and that small community, it extends you out locally to 5 different communities. With the Premium Plus, it extends you nationally. So instead of that post just going out to a few hundred people, it's going out to all of Alignable, and that's 8 million people. That's a big old deal if you're trying to be seen and build awareness and connect with people. On top of that, the analytics that comes with premium, you can see who clicked what when. And that kind of information is super valuable when you're trying to sell stuff, right? So pay attention to the analytics and being able to extend your reach is phenomenal.
I love that. So, Jason, imagine a world where you're posting your content to the right audience, and then now you can see who's viewing it. I mean, that's got to unlock some great things for your business.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then now so you all hear me talk customer journey a lot. So when we're talking about customer journey, you can see what part of the customer journey they're on. So if it's someone who just, this is your first time clicking on something that you put out, then they're on the awareness stage of the customer journey. You see them 2 or 3 times, they're starting to get interested. Now you might want to reach out, and start that conversation. Don't reach out and pitch. I know you all just want to pitch all the time. Don't pitch, start connecting with people, be a real person and have a conversation, and things will flow nicely.
I love it. And Liz, you talked about it a little, and you and I talk a lot about this. I know you stay really close to your analytics. Liz always knows like how many people are viewing things, how many people are looking at her profile. So Liz, I know analytics has to play a pretty big role for you and why premium has been effective.
It has. When I first started, I think I had like 100 connections. And I thought, oh man, I'm popular. So then when I started the premium, I just looked at it over within the last year, I have over 800. So the bump was immediate plus I get to stay, top of mind. So every time I host a Smart Connect, I get anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 different connections where people want to connect with me, and then vice versa. And I also agree, taking a look at what's effective. I don't have to keep duplicating something that nobody's interested in. So what I'm really looking at too is being service oriented, but also, of course, there has to be something in it for me too. And it's not in a selfish way, but if I'm going to invest the time to nurture, then I want to know that my efforts are good. So I look at the different things that the analytics have. Plus the reach has been really, really wonderful. Just with the quality of healers that I've connected with, and people that aren't healers, but for some reason they find the group. So I highly recommend the premium membership, just because of the opportunities that it's afforded me.
That's awesome. And we're
Yeah.
about to go into some questions in just a second here, but Sam, I think they covered it really well, but anything that you would add that has made an impact that hasn't been shared?
Oh, same thing. I reiterate everything Jason and Liz has said. The point that I want to make, and I say this in my groups all the time, I don't even have the affiliate link. I don't get anything for promoting premium.
Right.
However, I tell all my groups, if you're going to spend marketing money, make that be your first marketing budget is go premium, because it was such a game changer for me. I think it was I was back here a month and I went, okay, all the successful people that I hang out with are premium. So again, follow success. And as soon as I went premium, it just the difference, not only the analytics, I might not keep track of the numbers as closely as some of Jason or Liz does. However, just intuitively, I know the difference of what it meant. So I always tell people, give it a try, and it is the best money spent.
That is awesome. And of course, right now, the fact that you can try it, we don't want you to just hear what we're saying. Try it, see if it works for you. And if it does, you have 30 days to make the most of it. And hopefully you'll see some similar success that they've shared.